Hey y'all, it's me, Ty. So I'm sitting here and I'm doing a self-reflection of myself because I'm feeling I'm feeling a certain type of way about my life and where I'm at. The place I'm at is feeling very uncomfortable, and so I'm doing a self-evaluation because I need some answers, right? And I need some answers from God, like right now. And He's the only person that can give me those answers because He's the only person that knows me. He knows where I'm going, where I'm at, and where I need to be. And so as I'm doing a self-reflection of my life and where I'm at, I'm like, Lord, it's an uncomfortable situation. I don't want to be here. I don't like it. And I feel that I need to be much further than where I'm at right now. And so some of us may feel that we are in a place of isolation, of desolation, a place that's uncomfortable where there's a lack of support, a lack of resources, a lack of finances. We don't have enough to be able to do what we need to do, a lack of skills. It may be a lot of things that take place in our life that we just don't understand. We just don't get it, right? And so I'm like, Lord, I don't get it. I don't get what's going on. I've been here for a minute and I feel like I'm stuck and I need to get out, Lord. I need to find a way of escape. Help me, Lord. I'm seeking you. I'm seeking you because I know that I can't do it by myself. Is it something that I'm doing? Is it something that I shouldn't be doing? What is it? Give me a clear path so that I can understand where I need to be and what I need to do to get where I need to go. So that's where I'm at, right? And as I'm having that conversation with God, and I'm just venting, right? I'm venting, I'm just letting God know what's going on like He don't already know, right? Absolutely. But I'm letting Him know like what's going on with me, like, Lord, this is what I'm dealing with. Like, don't you see what I'm going through? Lord, can't you see what, how I'm feeling? Don't you get it? I know you do, Lord. So please help me. I need you to help me in this portion, this season of my life. And as I'm doing that, I'm complaining to God like, are you finished? Are you done? Because when you finish, then I can speak. Because I can't speak when you're speaking. You're not going to be able to hear me because you're just speaking and you're not speaking clearly. So I need you to shut up and I need you to listen. And this is how He talked to me. And so as I'm quiet, He brings back. He said, "You remember the scripture that you always speak over your life, right? Isaiah 43:19, and it talks about. I tell you, I said, forget about your past history. Forget about what you've been through. Forget about going through abuse, and forget about going through poverty, and forget about going through bad relationships, and forget about people talking about you, forget about people doing you wrong, and forget about what you didn't have, and forget about all that stuff. It doesn't matter," He said, "because I need you to see." You're like, don't you see what I'm doing right now here in the season in your life where I have you at? It's bursting out. I'm about to do something brand new, and you don't even see it. You don't even get it because you venting, you complaining. All you looking at is the place where you're at right now, and you don't see where I'm getting ready to take you. But He said, I'm about to do something brand new in your life. He said, I'm making roads in the deserts. I'm making rivers in the badlands. I'm doing these things for you. What I'm doing is, although you don't see a clear path, He said, I'm creating one for you. And when God said that, I said, wow. He said, as a matter of fact, because you're looking for me to do what I used to do in your life. You're looking for me to do things instantaneously when you want them done. You're looking for me to move like never before. Before the situation even happened, you're looking for me to take care of it already. You're looking for the old Exodus. And the old Exodus was when I brought the children out of Israel, when I made a way of escape, when I sent somebody to help them. You're looking for me to part the Red Sea so that you can go through it. You're looking for me to do that. You're looking for me to clear the pathway. You're looking for me to do those things in your life. You're looking for something old when I'm doing something new. And I was like, oh Lord, wow, it hit me. He said, I'm about to do something new. I'm doing something new, a new Exodus. And I'm like, a new Exodus? Okay, Lord, you got my attention because now I don't understand it, but I need you to explain it to me. And so sometimes we don't understand what God is doing in our life, where He has us and where He's positioned and placed us. We don't understand it because it's not comfortable. It's not familiar. It don't feel good. It takes us away from focusing on other things, and now we're focusing more on where we're at. And so we don't see that God is doing something new in our life because we're so focused on what is not happening in our life and what should be happening in our life that we are missing the very thing that God is doing in the present moment. And so when God said that to me, He said, I am doing something new. And although you feel like you're in the wilderness, because the wilderness is a dry place, it's a dry land, there's nothing around, it's just you, it's a lonely place. There's nothing. There's no food. There's no water. There's There's no resources, there's no support, there's nothing. He said, although you feel like you're in the wilderness and you can't see a clear path, you can't see your way out of debt, you can't see your way out of that abusive relationship, you can't see your way out of those toxic relationships, those people that are around you that are affecting you in a negative way, and you can't see your way out of poverty. You can't see your way out of, sickness. You're dealing with a disease, cancer. You're dealing with hypertension, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol. You're having to take medicine and go to doctor's appointments and get chemo. You're dealing with these things, but you can't see a clear path. You can't see your deliverance. You can't see your healing. You can't see that God is about to bring you to a new place, a greater place than where you're at right now. He said, you can't see your clear path, but I'm creating one for you. So I need you to know that I'm creating a path for you. See, what happened was, and the old Exodus, I brought you out of your mess. I brought you out of it. I took you out of that place of bondage, slavery, out of that place of isolation and desolation. I took you out of that place where you was being ruled by an evil king. I took you out of that place, and I parted the Red Sea so that you can go through it, so I can bring you to a better place, a place of milk and honey, a place called Canaan. I took you through that path. I brought you to the wilderness where you was only supposed to stay 3 days, but instead you stayed longer because you didn't understand, or you didn't take back. You didn't go after what I had already predestined for you. You stayed there. And so therefore, because you stayed there, I need to do something new. So God said, I brought you out of the mess. But now that I brought you out of the mess, in old Exodus and new Exodus, how about I'm going to see you through? I'm going to deliver you while you're in the mess, while you're in that place of isolation and desolation and abuse and poverty and lack. While you're in that place, I'm going to deliver you out of it right where you're at. I'm not going to bring you out of it. I'm going to deliver you while you're in it. So this way you know that I am God and that you can glorify me. So I can let you know that I'm doing something new in your life, something greater, something better, something that you didn't even expect. So I need you to get it. When God began to speak to me like that, I was pumped. I was amped because I knew that he heard me. I knew that even though I didn't feel like I was in a good place, and I didn't feel like that he was really hearing me, he understood, like, Lord, where you're at, Lord, I'm just by myself. That's how my flesh felt. But immediately he checked my spirit, and he let me understand that I will never leave you nor forsake you. And some of us feel like that. Like God is not on our side. We feel like everything is up against us, that the walls are paving in. We feel like we can't see our way through. We feel like things are crumbling down. We feel like, we're in a pit. We're at the bottom. We feel like we have no control of our situation, over our life. We just feel like things are not working for our good because our flesh is allowing us to feel that way. Our mind is taking us back to poverty, back to bondage, back to Egypt. And we don't see that God is delivering us right where we're at, and he's bringing us to a place of milk and honey, a place called Canaan, a place where he wants us to be delivered and set free, a place where he wants us to prosper and be blessed. He wants us to be healed. He wants us to move forward. We don't see that. And so sometimes when we get to that place, we have to sit back and do a self-evaluation and allow the Holy Spirit to speak to us and through us. Allow it to saturate in our spirit that it is not his will that we may perish, but it is his will that we may prosper as our soul prosper, so that we may be in good health, a healthy mind, a healthy body, a healthy spirit, a healthy home, healthy family, healthy finances. He wants us to be in great health. And so what I'm saying is, when we get to that place, we need to consult God. We don't need to seek outsiders. We don't need to seek other people that don't have answers for us, or things that don't have answers for us. We don't need to seek alcohol. We don't need to seek drugs. We don't need to seek, sex. We don't need to seek those things, because they're not going to deliver us or help us from our present situation. What we need to seek is Christ, knowing that he got our back no matter what, even when we think that we know it all, knowing that he got our back even when we don't feel like we deserve it. He has our back. He has our best interests. And so I had to do it, and I'm human. I'm nobody special, but I know, although I'm an ordinary person, I serve an extraordinary God. And I know that if he brought me out of Egypt, that he's going to bring me to a land of milk and Canaan. But I have to believe that the same God that delivered the children out of the hand of the enemy years and 400 years ago out of slavery is the same God that can deliver me right now in my present situation. And so for me to stop venting and stop complaining and trust God, that's my word for 2019. That's my word moving forward for the rest of my life, is trusting with all my heart and all my soul, and lean not to my very own understanding, lean not to my flesh, lean not to my ways, lean not to my thought patterns, but trust him. Depend solely and completely on him, because he is creating a path for me. He is making a way of escape. He is delivering me out of my situation, out of my mess, out of me putting myself in it, or maybe somebody else put me in it, or I'm just there because I'm there because I don't know how to get out. But he is delivering me. He is delivering me right there in my mess. So he's not only bringing me out, but he's coming to me. He's coming right there where I'm at, so that he can make a way of escape. And so what I'm saying is, my sister, my brother, whatever you may be dealing with, whatever you may be going through, there's nothing too hard for God. There's no situation and there's no problem or circumstance that God can't see you through, that he cannot deliver you from. You got to understand that. You got to believe that. You got to breathe that. When you wake up in the morning, he allowed you to wake up and comb your hair and brush your teeth, and you don't have to have a nurse assistant, a nurse's aid. You're not in the hospital. You can do it on your own. You have to understand that God has a purpose and plan for your life. You have to understand that it may not be a comfortable situation that you're in at that present time, but you ain't always going to be there. There's going to be a time where God delivers you and sets you free totally and completely. But you have to believe that. We got to get in our mind, that God did not make us to be weak people. He made us to be strong people. He gave us strength in time of